Diddy's original legal team left him. Did you know that? His original legal team left him. Basically, they were saying, we can't defend this guy. So, see you when I see you. That's one thing. His new legal team is something like one of the guys, the main man or the main lawyer or something, was like mentored or something by the people who defended Epstein. There's a proper Epstein Diddy link right there. Then, there's like the trail of deaths and that, which this guy's left behind. Biggie, Tupac, then people who went to his like original event where he like, people got crushed because of bad management, and man just moves on like nothing happened. Guys, proper supervillain, real life supervillain that guy is. Now I reserve the right to make a proper podcast session out of this, but I just had to get a little itty bitty Diddy discussion in there because there's just too much. I mean, I don't know if it's a buffet or a banquet or what. It's just too much, guys. That's just coming out. It's non-stop. So now the man's in jail and he's doing things like paying for people's commissary and that so he can get more telephone time. So he's using their telephone time, which is not allowed because you're supposed to put in like your own unique code. So he's using their code and that, using their telephone time. And then outside of that, it's snowing. And then what he's doing is, what's he doing now? Three-way calls. He's doing three-way calls. You'd think that this man had enough of three ways, but man goes to jail and carries on having three. Pause right there. And you're not allowed to have three-way calls on the prison systems, but he's doing it. He doesn't mess about. He's just... And then apparently he's like making notes of certain things, and they got found in like a cell check or whatever they call it. So they were checking all the cells and they found like some notes that he'd made. And then to go even further, you know that his kids have been like putting out posts like happy birthday dad, shame you're in jail, blah blah blah. And his mum and stuff have been putting out posts, right? Apparently there's proof of him orchestrating those posts. So he's telling his family and XYZ, put a post out about this, put this picture on it, tell it, make sure it says this, make sure it says that. Going for it. Full whack going for it. Not taking any time for a breather. You know what I mean? No time for breaks. And then like further on, you've heard about his son, innit? His son and some staff girl from one of the boats. She's in a thing as well. She's in a thing, like, well, the son's in a thing basically. Apparently he may have spiked a certain someone. There was that clip that came out, innit, where Diddy is at some kind of fundraiser. Graham Norton's there and a few other people, Wayne Rooney and I think Beckham and that lot. And there's Diddy, and he's auctioning off an item or something, right? And he goes, I'm going to auction off a weekend with me. But it won't just be a weekend. What'll happen is it'll be a Saturday, Sunday thing, and then you'll wake up on Wednesday with your behind next to me or something. Wake up days later, laying next to him. Next thing, just quickly, there was somebody, right, one of the many cases, I don't know if this is like true case or not, because of course a lot of these cases people are saying they may not even be true. Diddy himself is like, there's too many cases, I don't know what you're referring to. So they may not be true, and of course people know that people are going to want Diddy's money, so that's a thing in itself. One of the cases was where, I think it was, oh, wait a minute, yeah. So, somebody worked with Diddy, some guy. Now, he wasn't performing too well or something. Next thing, for some reason, Diddy asks for his girlfriend to come down to the office to discuss this guy's performance. I'm like, why is the girlfriend discussing this guy's performance? What's all that about? Anyway, she turns up. And they start attacking her. I'm not going to go into what kind of attack. You guys know by this point what kind of attack I'm talking about, right? They do that. Next thing, she wakes up hours later. And when she wakes up, gets another attack, like instantly. Straight after that one, she's able to leg it out of the place and she gets out of there. I don't know what they've been putting in these drinks. I don't know what they've been doing. But they've been putting some serious stuff in drinks, guys. Blink Twice is bang on. Watch Blink Twice. Blink Twice is what it is all about. Why have you not watched Blink Twice yet? Speaking of which, Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum have broken up, haven't they? They've broken up. So they had their film, they had their moment, and now that's that gone. So much going on. Diddy is just not stopping, guys. It is wild. You know about the shooters. You know about the equipment he had in his place. You know the tings. He had the serial numbers taken off him. There was no serial numbers on the things, guys. Yeah, on the pew-pews. Pew-pew, no serial number. So that suggests that they were prepared to do some serious pew-pewing in places and get things done. And then it brings into question things like his closeness to other villains, like Ellen. And I don't know who else. There's others in it. But Ellen is one of them, in it. And then you think about Ellen's partner mysteriously, going bye-bye. That was very mysterious. Why do I feel like, guys, there was somebody on TikTok. There was somebody, right, on TikTok who was going to expose something, right? It was a woman. She was a white lady. I'm pretty sure she was American. She was on TikTok. She was going to expose something, then suddenly got ill. I'm pretty sure it was pneumonia. And then she was gone. Sudden situation. Who was that? Can anyone remember and find who that was? Next, Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx, baby. Well, firstly, before I forget, of course, the illness is apparently from Diddy. Diddy apparently tried to poison the guy, and then guy was like on his last legs. I really wonder what the story is behind that. Why? Why did you go after Jamie Foxx, man? What happened? What's the story? Just tell us the Jamie Foxx story so we can all go to sleep at night. But do you remember that story which Jamie Foxx was telling on like various interview shows where he was like teaching Diddy how to party on a budget? He was like, Diddy, how much does party cost you? And Diddy was like, 30 grand, 40 grand. And Jamie Foxx was like, what? Looking around like, I could throw something like this for like $400. I'll tell you what, you come with me and we'll party. Well, firstly, I wonder what that expensive party was like now that we know what we know. Anyway, then Jamie Foxx throws his party and Diddy's there and he's chilling and all this. And then Jamie Foxx, basically what he's saying is, this celebrity walked in, that celebrity walked in, Kanye West walked in, all this lot, right? And it's as if the main selling point and the main fun, the attraction, the best part of Jamie Foxx's party is the fact that there were celebs there. Outside of it being celebs, it was basically low budget. It was there going, look, there's KFC. That's $100. Look at those drinks. That's all Coca-Cola in bulk. You know, so he's talking about how budget friendly it is, and it's all basically centered around the people that are there, as opposed to perhaps what Diddy was spending money on. What was he spending money on? Johnson & Johnson? Johnson & Johnson? You got the numbers. You got the numbers, Johnson & Johnson. You know what he was spending money on? I bet he was coming to you guys in bulk. I bet he's got one of your top bosses' email addresses. He needs a shipment. Guys, what's the deal with the tunnels? Apparently there are tunnels. Apparently some schematic somewhere do talk about tunnels under the house. And the houses in the area also tunnel. We need somebody to verify that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Them people who go into those derelict buildings, abandoned buildings and stuff. They're people who open up a manhole cover and they find a city, and they find train stations, abandoned train stations and subway stations and stuff. I'm looking at you. Come along, do some of God's work. You know what I mean? Find out what them tunnels are saying. What are them tunnels saying? Yeah, who's saying what? You know what else I was thinking, right? We've got some footage of like parties, innit? Diddy parties. Yeah. Because obviously he makes like promos here and there, some of them. And I was thinking like, why? I mean, I was trying to analyse it a little bit and really look, and I was like, can't I just see one person who looks like they've just been KO'd? Can't I just find one person who just looks like they've been out for like 2 days? Sure, there's got to be one person here, somewhere in the scene, somewhere just captured in the shot where they're just like out of it. There's got to be one. But no, I didn't find anything. He must have like dragged that person away somewhere before anything happened. But yeah, guys, there is so much. It's quite literally the gift that keeps on giving. And the way so many people are tied into it. This was an interesting theory. Someone said, right, that a lot of these celebs are proper scared of him. Obviously, first things first, like he ropes you in, and then once he's got something on you, he's got you. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, why didn't anyone shout up? Now, the reason why nobody shouted up, apparently, is because you shout up, it makes it look like you were affiliated. Doesn't matter what you do, you're going to get splashback. And it's going to affect your brand. So if it's going to affect your brand, it's going to affect your income. And what they're basically doing is they're like, nah, I'm going to keep it shut. I need nothing to affect my brand. I just don't need to take any risks. Don't need to make anything affect my income. That's what I'm saying. So apparently that's why basically everybody, a lot of people stayed quiet. But we live in that world now, don't we? Bystanders. What's the deal with bystanders? And I suppose, to what degree are we all bystanders? It's tragic, isn't it? It's tragic that that's where we are, but I suppose that is where we are. It's the whole bystander situation, where you see that something's happened, something's gone wrong, but you're just like, look, I got too many things happening in my life. I got too much going on in my life right now. I can't be stopping for that person who's got a broken down car. Or, you know, they change their tyre. I can't stop for them. I got things, I got to keep going. I can't invite that into my life. You know, it's wild, right? There's stories of Diddy being rough on his partners and stuff. Like, back in like college days. My guy was going for it back in college days, like breaking down like dorm room doors and stuff. And like being rough on partners. It was fully going for it. And this is a thing, guys. This one's a wild one. Once, he hit one of his partners pretty badly because they refused to put a thing in Diddy. They refused to put a thing in Diddy. So he attacked her. Like, I'm like, how do you even tell a story of what happened with that one? You know what I mean? How did that happen? How do you tell that story? Well, it's happening, isn't it? It's in one of the court cases and that, so that's coming out. It makes me wonder, is he having a bad time in prison or a good time in prison? Was he kind of prepared for it? Was he, I don't know. Is it win-win? Is it win-win? What's happening? Basically, they're saying because he's breaking rules in jail, like with the phone stuff and making weird notes and orchestrating Instagram stuff, because he's doing these things in jail, it's going to make it basically impossible for him to get bail. How is he going to get bailed out, if he's already breaking rules in prison? His defence are like melting. They are melting, guys. They got nothing going. They are melting. Again, I'm going to say, I reserve the right here to make a real podcast conversation discussion out of this, which may well come. Hit subscribe for that. Of course, by then I'll have more info, etc., because it just doesn't stop. There's like a waterfall of things from Diddy, and it's just not stopping at all. The things he's done, like, apparently he's even like pew-pewed people. I think there was that lady who got pewed in the face, innit? And there's apparently still some bullet there or something. You could see like the bandage was like over her face after it had happened. Something like in her nose area or something. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know why she was any part of any altercation. I've got to give credit to people who managed to like clock on to Diddy and that he's a danger and stay away from him, i.e. 50 Cent. I know that there are others too, but those ones were quite lucky, the ones who managed to like stay away from the guy. I do feel very sorry for people who like got sucked in, like, no pun intended, like people where Diddy was their first industry doorway. So that'd be probably Usher, Diddy's ex Cassie, probably, Bieber. Oh dear. I think the less we talk about eggs, the better. Should we leave eggs out of it? Let's leave eggs out of it, yeah? I will not mention the egg test. The egg test will not be mentioned in this conversation. The egg test, you know the egg test, you already know about it, so I'm not going to discuss what they were doing with eggs. What is going on? What is going on? Isn't it wild? Because, like, there's the whole Epstein thing, right? Wait a minute, I forget. That wasn't even really an industry thing, was it? That's Weinstein. Epstein was just for, like, major world leaders. And isn't it interesting how the two get dealt with differently? Like Diddy, right? Not only are people kind of okay to talk about him, but he is not being like offed. He ain't being professionally offed, is he? Whereas Epstein, done. Like, man was on S-Watch and got done. So tell me about that. So that was like a world leader thing, wasn't it? Stephen Hawking apparently went to Epstein Island. Stephen Hawking. Someone tell me what's going on. Make it make sense. Somebody. So he was doing it. He was Diddying for world leaders the Trumps on that. I don't know if Trump went or not. And Diddy was basically doing it for music industry, certain level of celeb / rap industry. It's very sad. It's very tragic. And Weinstein was a degree of this for film industry. Holy moly. What is going on? It is a strange, strange time. It does make me think though, like, before these guys, who was doing it? Makes me feel like it's not something that just occurred overnight. Before these guys, somebody was doing it. Who was doing it? That's the thing. That's the question. What was happening with Meek Mill? Apparently the Meek Mill audio was fake. Very good fake. It sounded crazy. Sounded hilarious. But apparently the Meek Mill audio is fake. Still cracks me up. Yeah, so they were close. They had something going on. And I think that, like, what's his name? Our guy from the UK. Oh, I hate it when I forget things in these videos. Oh, the guy from the UK, the deep voice, British, Giggs. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Giggs had just come back from, like, spending time with Diddy just before it all went down. I think Giggs might have been, like, Diddy's last, like, collab situation. I think Giggs came back and cleared his own name quickly. Although maybe he saw a thing or two while he was out there. It's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. Not so long ago, majority of us would not have thought that this is going on at all. Diddy had just got the key to New York. He just got the key to New York, guys, before this happened. It's funny how people go back through, like, his, like, speeches and his, like, little party appearances, and people are picking up on details. The signs. It's like the signs are always there, isn't it? Hiding in plain sight. People had their eyes wide shut. I remember, like, ages ago, there was a celebrity, right? Some rap guy, I'm pretty sure. And he said, when you go into a party, just keep an eye on where your drink is. And he goes, those are our bottles, and those ones are not our bottles. Make sure you go and get one of your own bottles and keep hold of that one all night. And, like, at that time I was like, okay, this is weird. They're definitely doing some weird stuff with the drinks, but I didn't, like, think that they were doing this level. You know what I mean? I think he even said something like, bring your own drink or something and just keep hold of it. I was like, what? But yeah, these people knew about it. People really knew about it, guys. Like, what's Ashton Kutcher saying? Ashton Kutcher, I bet he has got some stories. I wonder, I mean, are they going to call him to court? I wonder if they'll call him into court. And DiCaprio. DiCaprio. I wonder what DiCaprio are going to say, huh? I may well end this video here. So if it ends here, then it ends. Might as well do an ending. I may do a proper full podcast on this. I will catch you guys on the flip side for now. Thanks for watching. This has been a little bitty iddy chat. See you guys in the next one. Take it easy and watch your back. Keep your back to the wall. See you in a bit.